This is the 4612 in black, extremely basic. No real features, just a single alarm, battery backup. The 4612, this unit I've seen everywhere. In fact, it's probably one of the more popular ones that you see in your travels, probably because they sold a heck of a lot of them. But very basic, just a single alarm, no features to speak of other than battery backup, but gets the job done, but it's a real basic unit. Here's the 4613. This is also one that's towards the end of the run here. They really didn't put much into this. It has a small speaker, just a LED with a single alarm. No real features. It does have battery backup, but just sound quality and such, it just isn't there. But it is a clock radio, and will get you up if you set the time. The 4621, it has a dual wake alarm, also has the soft touch on and off switch. Also has the ability to do fast forward and reverse for setting the time, which is a nice feature if you overshoot the time that you set it for. And it does have battery backup. And here's the 4637. This is a small little radio. It does have 2 wake times and has the soft touch on and off. Red display, and back here is where the AM/FM switch is, and it does have battery backup, but pretty much a basic radio. 4646, basic unit. My guess is the guts on this are very similar to some of the other ones I have. Single alarm, not a lot of features. It does have a brightness for the fluorescent clock, and this one's not very strong. That's true for a lot of these with the thin digits. It does have battery backup, but I guess that's a good thing in the dark, but that's actually the brightest, and it even goes dimmer. So I guess if you want to look at this during the day, you're not going to be able to see it too easily. This is the 4648. What's nice is it features a little bit of a departure from normal green LEDs. This uses more of the thinner style, which was available in the 90s. What's nice about this is it has a dual alarm system. It also has reverse and fast forward for setting the time. So if you overshoot your time or your setting, you can reverse and do it. Also has a high-low brightness switch, and finally it has soft touch controls for on and off, so you just press it and it goes on and off. It does have battery backup. Interesting, they put the AM/FM all the way in the back here though, that switch. The 4654, this one has a very large red LED display. It also has a timer. You can do 4, 6, or 8 hours, and then when the timer goes off, the alarm goes off. It has a night light, which is also integrated with the snooze, and it has soft touch on and off controls. But it only does have one alarm. No other features really other than battery backup. I would guess this is from the 1990s. Oh, and the night light is dimmable. There's bright, and it is on, but that's dim. Here's the 4663. It features the thin blue fluorescent display, and just like a lot of these, they get weak over time, and this is on bright, this is dim, but it does work. 2 alarms. Also soft touch controls with the fast forward and reverse, so you can easily zone in on a time. No tone control or anything like that. It does have battery backup. And one last thing to mention is that the middle of the speaker has a silver dust protector on it in there, which was kind of typical for radios in the 1980s. You'd see speakers like that with the silver. So that's the only one that I'm aware of in my collection. The 4664, this is from the 1990s. It has fast forward and reverse for time setting, so if you overshoot it. Also has 2 wake times, has a headphone jack, and it is in stereo. You can choose between AM, FM, or FM stereo. And the green LED, which has the thinner type digits, also has a brightness of low or high. It also does have battery backup. Sound on this is not all that good though. I mean, it is in stereo, but does not have a lot of bass. So that's the one downside to something like this that does have some more features. This is the 4672, which has an interesting LCD display that's backlit with an incandescent bulb. I think it's the only GE I have that's like this. So if I turn the lights off here, you'll see what that looks like. And there's even a dimmer for that. It's on the brightest, so you really can't see it during the day. The unit itself features a lot of soft touch controls, and it also has something called a nap timer. But when you make the changes to the various things on the screen will light up so that you can make adjustments. Does not have battery backup, but does have the gradu-wake alarm, which basically, if it's turned on, means that it starts, your alarm, if you have it set to music, starts off low and it gradually gets higher. So it's a more gradual form of waking up. And then there's the brightness indicator. Also has a larger speaker, has a little bit better sound quality than some of the other radios of its class. Here's the 4813. This looks like towards the end of the run, I would guess in the 90s or 2000s, but this thing is like the most basic. On and off, has one alarm, no other adjustments, and it has a real small speaker in here. But, you know, it will get the job done. Has battery backup, and you can see here I got this at Goodwill. But this is just a real basic radio, and you can see how over the years how they cheapened and made these things smaller. The 4875, and this is one of my favorite radios by them because it's fully digital, in the sense that it has the tuner that's digital, as well as the controls. Now, there are some controls here that are not, but in general, you can set both alarms electronically as well as the station. And this will let you choose what you want on the display, and then you go ahead and you enter in whatever's necessary. Green LED, and this particular model also sports what's called gradu-wake. This is where when the alarm goes off, it starts off low and then gets progressively louder. So if you don't want to be woken up with just the louder sound of the radio, you can have it gradually go up. It also has battery backup, but one of the only gradu-wake units that I have. I think there's one other radio. The 4956, this one's a little unusual because it's a clock radio with a cassette recorder. And it actually is full featured. It has the fast forward, rewind, it records. Also has really nice auto stop features and a cushion eject. So it's really, they actually put some time into it. It's got 2 wake times, electronic power on and off, as well as reverse and forward for time setting. It's got a nice LED indicator down here for the tuning, and when we look at the bottom, it does have battery backup, and it says do not expose to rain or moisture. Maybe they thought some people would want to make this portable. It also has a little bit larger speaker and has a little bit better sound than some. This is the 4984, which is a bookshelf clock radio system. It has a stereo cassette deck, features separate bass and treble controls. It only has a single alarm, but has the reverse buttons, so you can easily zone in on the time that you want. Got a pillow eject, which means I put a little bit of effort into the tape deck. Also has an LED indicator for the station. Speakers have quite a bit of wires, so these could be put around a room somewhere. Sounds very, very good. When I go to the back here, has a brightness control as well as a microphone jack for left and right, and then headphone. What it doesn't have is battery backup, but a really good sounding system, even though these speakers are probably kind of basic. But it sounds really, really good, high fidelity.